I want you to pay very close attention. You are not going to want to miss this next trick. One of Ruben's goals for this movie was to have as much...
There's this thing that happens when you watch someone do a card trick at a party. You lean in, you watch their hands, you know you're being fooled, but there's something thrilling about agreeing to be fooled, about participating in the shared pretense that this moment contains actual mystery. And then someone else walks up and says, "Oh, I know how that's done," and suddenly the whole thing deflates. Not because the trick was bad, but because the agreement got broken. That's sort of what it feels like to watch a magic movie, except nobody had to break the agreement. The camera already did it for you. This is Frameshift, where we spend too much time thinking about movies that were designed not to be thought about. And today we're talking about Now You See Me, Now You Don't. The third installment in a franchise that has somehow figured out how to make magic boring. The movie thinks it's about illusion, about the spectacle of impossible things happening right in front of you. But what it's actually about is distraction. It's about keeping you so busy with plot twists and heist mechanics and celebrity faces that you don't notice there's nothing underneath, which, to be fair, is exactly what a magic trick does. The difference is that a magic trick lasts 3 minutes. This lasts 2 hours. Here's the basic problem with filming magic in a live show. The magician is right there. You can see their hands, the stage, the props. You can study everything, try to catch them in the act, and when you can't figure it out, that's when the wonder happens. But in a movie, editing can do literally anything. CGI can do literally anything. So the magic tricks themselves become meaningless. They're not impressive because you know the real trick is happening in post-production. Which means the only trick left is the plot. Can the movie stay one step ahead of you? Can it surprise you with its twists before you see them coming? And to its credit, this franchise understands that. It knows its job is to be a magic trick about magic tricks, to keep you guessing not about how they pulled off the illusion, but about where the story is going next. Jesse Eisenberg is back as Daniel Atlas, and he's aged into this weird space where his character feels both more confident and more tired. He used to play arrogance like a superpower. Now he plays it like a defense mechanism. There's Woody Harrelson doing his lovable weirdo thing, Dave Franco being charming in the margins, and Isla Fisher, who replaced Lizzie Kaplan, which is the kind of franchise shuffle that tells you exactly how disposable these characters are. Rosamund Pike shows up as the villain, a glamorous crime boss with a giant diamond, because every heist movie needs a MacGuffin, and diamonds are easier to light than bearer bonds. And the plot is your standard steal the thing from the bad person set up, except with more CGI and less internal logic. But here's where it gets interesting, or at least where it tries to. The movie introduces 3 younger characters played by Justice Smith, Ariana Greenblatt, and Dominic Sessa, who are clearly being positioned as the next generation. It's the franchise doing that thing where it hedges its bets, setting up a soft reboot in case the original cast gets too expensive or too bored. It's transparent, but also kind of smart, like We See You movie. We know what you're doing. And honestly, it's refreshing when a piece of IP is at least honest about being IP. The structure is all over the place. It's got the energy of those old Pink Panther movies or the Bob Hope and Bing Crosby Road films where the plot is just an excuse to bounce from set piece to set piece. Nothing really builds, nothing really matters. It's a pinball machine pretending to be a narrative. And look, that can work. Plenty of great movies are just vibes and momentum, but those movies usually have something else going for them. A point of view, a sense of style that feels intentional, a reason to exist beyond. People liked the last one and we can make another one. This doesn't really have that. It has competence, it has charm in flashes, it has actors who are good enough to make you forget you're watching an algorithm-generated product, but it doesn't have a reason. It exists because the previous 2 movies made over $700 million globally, and in the current landscape, that's enough. There's a moment early on where the new trio exposes a crypto scammer and redistributes his wealth to his victims. It's played as this triumphant act of Robin Hood justice, and it should feel good. But it doesn't, because the movie doesn't actually care about justice or systemic inequality or anything real. It cares about the spectacle of caring. It wants the aesthetic of social activism without any of the substance, which again is very on brand for a movie about illusions. The whole thing moves fast enough that you don't notice the emptiness until it's over. whatever, and then it evaporates. You remember you watched it, but you don't remember what happened. You don't remember how you felt. You just remember shapes and noise and the vague sensation of having been entertained the way you remember a theme park ride 3 days later. Director Ruben Fleischer, who made the Zombieland movies, knows how to keep things light. He knows how to shoot action so it feels kinetic without being coherent. And the 4 credited writers know how to structure a twist, but none of them seem to know why this story matters or if it even should. And maybe that's fine. Maybe not every movie needs to matter. Maybe some movies are just meant to fill 2 hours on a Wednesday night when you're too tired to think and too awake to sleep. If you're into this kind of thing, if you like watching someone overthink movies that were built not to be thought about, you know where to find me. I'll be here, still trying to figure out if plot twists count as character development. Anyway, go outside, touch some grass. The next magic trick can wait.